The All Ordinaries Index jumped 1.7% as investors responded to a mysterious signal that it's time to buy again, just as a shoal of sardines changes direction suddenly. News Corporation shares went up again, with investors apparently happy with the performance of Rupert and James Murdoch last night. The banks all went up about 2% each. Wesfarmers jumped 3%, BHP went up 2%. It seems to have been sparked by a bigger than expected rise in US housing starts, and there was some pretty strong economic data out of Germany as well. But the American profit reporting season so far is pretty patchy. Anyway, Wall Street jumped 1.6%, and that spread to strong rises around the world. And commodities rose as well, except for gold, which had a sharp reaction to yesterday's big rise to more than $1,600 an ounce. The Australian dollar jumped a cent to 107 1/3 US cents. Now, the domestic pressures on the currency are mostly downwards at the moment. The only reason for it to rise is when global investors want to increase the riskiness of their portfolios. And the Aussie dollar is seen as an alternative to gold. So when gold goes down, the Aussie goes up. To emphasise the point about domestic conditions, here's a graph of futures market expectations about interest rates. The red line shows expectations of the cash rate in 12 months from that time. So when it's above the actual cash rate, as it was for most of the past year, it means the market thinks interest rates will rise. It's now fallen below, so the market thinks rates will be cut. And this helps explain why. It's a Commonwealth Bank measure of all their sales transactions, a real measure of retail sales. As you can see, the small increases of earlier this year look a bit like a false dawn. And that's finance.